Live from WTEN, this is News 10 at 5.
Investigators expand the case against a former private school instructor, but they're hoping to learn if any more victims are connected to this case. Christy Mazurek has the latest.
As we first told you yesterday, Sandra, or Beth Geisel, as she's known around here, might be out of jail, but new charges are coming around the corner and could land her right back behind bars. It's the continuation of the case involving the 16-year-old she's already been charged with raping. Now investigators are continuing their focus on just how many CBA students are involved.
Beth, you're being called a rapist by police. Any comment on that?
The fallout continues, as does the questioning around this sex scandal. This afternoon, the Albany County DA called students in for questioning. The review follows a News 10 exclusive report citing the new case coming forward out of Ravenna. A case connected to the same 16-year-old that claims he had sex with Beth Geisel in the school's press box overlooking the football field and even at the woman's home. His third hookup allegedly happened at a home in Ravenna. That might mean new charges, and it might not stop there. Investigators with the DA are looking for how many students are connected to the case, including just when Beth Geisel had sex with the teens. Back in June, Geisel was fired from Christian Brothers Academy after school officials found out she was caught by police in a parked car with a 17-year-old student. Then they found out she had a relationship with another 17-year-old. Although that's the age of consent, a source tells News 10 investigators are making sure the other students that met up with Geisel were not an illegal age at the time. Sources tell me they re-interviewed witnesses to parties and sex acts, those alleged sex acts connected to Geisel today. It's expected to continue tomorrow. That's why they're holding off on filing official charges against Geisel in Ravenna until those talks are complete. Christy Mazurek, News 10.
The scandal fallout is much more than criminal. According to mental health experts, it not only could bring prison time, but it almost always makes the young victims prisoners of their feelings.
When they begin thinking about what they've done, when they begin thinking about the position of trust that the person held above them, that the situation where they might be feeling, maybe I was used, those kind of things that happen after that first blush of sexual activity is really the damaging and corrosive part.
The Beth Geisel story is literally the talk of the town. This morning, Paul Vandenberg's telephone lines were abuzz on his WROW radio show. One caller saying Geisel has a serious problem and needs help. Another asking if Geisel's connections as the estranged wife of a prominent banker helped CBA keep the story quiet as the stories started to circulate around the school. Many others are defending CBA.
It's interesting. It's salacious. It's got all the things of a Hollywood movie. And it's just unfortunate because there's too much good that's gone out of that academy.
Girls that are raped virtually never consent to it, if ever. And that is the big difference between the culpability here. The boy had to be an accepting partner. Don't you agree?
Yes, I do.
Vandenberg said this story is getting so much attention, even on the national level, because it's all about sex. A caller said that in itself is a sad statement. A developing story in Greene County. Dive teams have pulled a body out of Sleepy Hollow Lake in Cooksaki. Police got a call about an hour ago that someone saw a person yell for help, then go under the water. At this point, we do not know who the victim is or the circumstances surrounding the incident. We have a crew on the scene, and we'll let you know if anything else develops. Well, News 10 has learned that some staffers at State DOT were concerned 2 years ago about a safety rating given to the ramp that collapsed last week over 787. The entire elevator ramp was inspected 2 years ago and found to be in relatively good shape. However, the section that collapsed last week was given a very poor rating, numerically 2 out of 7 points, somewhere between totally deteriorated and seriously deteriorated. The rocker bearing the bridge sits on was found to be tilting too much. DOT said it was felt at the time the structure would be safe until another inspection was done this year, but sources tell us that some staffers voiced concern at the time. We'll have more on this story coming up on News 10 at 5:30. A Boston man accused of running over and killing a 33-year-old New Jersey woman after a concert at SPAC could be indicted tomorrow. 30-year-old Alexander Bennett could be charged under a new law that makes it a felony to leave the scene of a fatal crash. The incident happened on July 2nd after a Dave Matthews Band concert. Police say Bennett was drunk when he hit Grania Maggio of New Jersey. She was walking on the southbound side of Route 50 with a group of friends. People in Cambridge are on alert because of the unusually high number of drunk driving arrests. Through the first 7 months of this year, the department has made a total of 25 arrests. Now, they made just 29 all of last year, and that's just DWI. There have also been more arrests for driving while ability impaired. The Cambridge police say they haven't increased the number of patrols, so it's not a matter of stepped-up enforcement. Police Chief George Bell says, quote, "I think if you look at Washington County as a whole, that is a lot of drunks." The first oversized cargo of the year will be shipped this week on the New York State Canal System. The Troy Company will be moving 2 massive turbines from the Port of Albany to Ontario. The majority owner of the Marine Highway Transportation Company says she's seen a resurgence in commercial use of the canal. The company spokesperson says the canal is one of the most efficient methods of commercial shipping. Today was a scorcher, and just a few minutes ago, ENCON and the State Department of Health issued an air quality health advisory for our viewing area and much of New York. Even before the warning came out, local emergency rooms have been dealing with health problems brought on by the hot weather. Tracy Egan reports.
When the thermometer heads above 90 and stays there, you can bet your sweaty brow that emergency rooms will see an upswing in business.
Yesterday, I would say we probably saw 5 or 6 people related to heat illnesses or respiratory problems related to the heat. Today, we'll probably see about that many as well, I would suspect.
Dr. Sarah Vogel is head of Albany Memorial's emergency room. She says most of the patients chased here by the heat suffer underlying medical problems such as high blood pressure, asthma, or other respiratory problems. She says people who are used to working out in the heat, like Dennis Bratt, generally won't have a problem.
Too hot to do this, yes. But this is the only 2 day. I have 2 days a week that I can do it, and this is the only one of the days I can do it. So I got to do it.
On hot days, it's the elderly or very young who are most likely to need treatment at an ER. These kids sure won't need to see a doctor to stay cool. They've written themselves a prescription for this curbside pool.
It's considered as our beach, actually.
Whether you're getting cool in the water or staying cool by drinking water,
that's nectar today.
It's a good way to avoid a trip to the ER.
Try and pay attention to what your body's telling you. If you're starting to get fatigued and you're not feeling well and you're getting nauseous, you need to stop what you're doing, get into a cool place, rehydrate yourself. Don't keep pushing it because it'll only get worse.
Tracy Egan, News 10.
If you saw smoke coming from the pine bush in Albany today, don't worry. Preserve officials started it. It was a controlled burn designed to clear out old brush, and it encourages new growth and prevents wildfires. These fires are strictly controlled, and they certainly try to avoid any unintended damage. 10 to 12 acres were burned today, with crews being very careful to burn around areas where the Carner blue butterfly lives. If you want to get your hands on some Rolling Stones tickets, you better be prepared to wait in line. Because of the band's popularity, the Pepsi Arena is handing out wristbands tomorrow. They're not going to guarantee you a ticket, but they will guarantee you a place in line. The wristbands will be available at the Pepsi's box office starting tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 7, same hours on Friday. Tickets don't go on sale until Saturday morning. A lottery system will then be used to figure out who gets the premium place at the head of the line. Then, come Saturday, the line starts for real for tickets at 8:45 a.m. at the Pepsi Arena box office. You can also log on to Ticketmaster or call Ticketmaster. Tickets go on sale 10 a.m. Saturday. And anybody who donates blood at an American Red Cross Center in Vermont, Connecticut, Maine, Massachusetts, or New Hampshire could win tickets to see the Rolling Stones. Donors who contribute over the next couple of weeks will be entered into a drawing for a pair of tickets to the August 23rd concert at Fenway Park. The horses are the summer's racing heroes in Saratoga, but coming up, we'll tell you about a racing museum in the Spa City that puts the focus on cars instead.
The day started off clear, but some storms managed to make their way into the North Country. A hot day will be in store for tomorrow.
It's time for Coca's tremendous clearance sale. Now through 4 p.m. Sunday. Every appliance, every television, everything you need for your home. All priced to move. Save up to 40% on floor models, scratch and dent, and overstock items. Everything must go. Choose from brand names like Amana, Maytag, Frigidaire, Whirlpool, KitchenAid, Sony, Toshiba, JVC, and more. Plus take up to 24 months, no interest financing. Save big, save now. It's our huge clearance event. Now through Sunday, only at Coca.
Hey, it's Greg Zipadelli here to tell you about the ultimate closeout sale at Alpenhaus RV.
It's going on now at all 3 Alpenhaus RV locations. Over 700 new and used motorhomes, travel trailers, fifth wheels, and pop-ups are closeout priced. Trade up for a great deal on a brand new 2005. They all must be sold. It's the ultimate in savings, the ultimate in closeout selection, and it's at Alpenhaus RV.
Everybody wins at the ultimate closeout sale, so you don't want to miss it. Best brands, best selection, best prices.
Morning! What a day it's been already. I got a very...
Barb's a natural morning person. For me, morning's about as natural as my hair color.
Do you scrapbook?
No, but I found a way to get through.
Oh, McDonald's. I could really use some coffee.
Decaf, I hope.
Whatever you need to get through the morning, you'll find it at McDonald's. From Egg McMuffins and sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddles to steak bagels. No one has more choices for breakfast sandwiches.
Have a great day. And you have a great day, too.
Open 6 a.m. or earlier. Many drive-thrus open 24 hours.
Professional Rodeo Night is back for another great season at the Double M Arena. Every Friday night, you'll see the best bronco riding, Brahma bull riding, and rodeo roping events this side of Texas. And be sure to come early for an authentic Texas-style barbecue dinner. All you Wranglers will also find special bargains on thousands of boots and selected items that will outfit you from head to toe at our Western Wear store. Make it a summer to remember every Friday with Rodeo Night at the Double M Arena, Northway Exit 12, Ballston Spa.
And now, your News 10 Storm Tracker forecast with meteorologist Jeff Smith.
Welcome back, everyone, and good evening. Another hot one out there today, not quite reaching that 90-degree point in Albany. We might as well reach it, right? I think tomorrow we're going to be getting into the lower and middle 90s in the capital region. And with the heating of the day, there were a few severe thunderstorms earlier. Let's go to our high-definition Doppler radar right now. Earlier, a warning was in effect for Saratoga County. That expired way back at 3:15. But we have a few more showers and widely scattered thunder showers moving through the North Country right now. You see they're tending to weaken. These are mainly a function of that daytime heating that we got today, and as we approach the nighttime hours, they should be tapering off, so it shouldn't be a bad evening out there. Let's check out your forecast first. For tonight, 82 your temperature by 8 o'clock, 74 by midnight. We're 71 by 7 o'clock in the morning. Can't rule out a little bit of patchy fog after midnight as we get our winds calming down and our skies clearing. Outside right now in Albany, we have a temperature of 83 under partly sunny skies. Winds actually coming in from the north right now, and that has tended to cool things off a little bit. We had that thunderstorm move just to our north through Saratoga County, and the outflow from that caused our wind to shift in from the north, and that is why we cooled down. 83 in Albany, 94 though down in Poughkeepsie, 77 up in Glens Falls, 81 Saranac Lake and Rutland, 79 in Bennington, and 80 your temperature in North Adams. Here's that line of thunderstorms again. They're stronger up to the north into the central and northern Adirondacks, and they're going to be weakening overnight. We do have Tropical Storm Harvey, so we broke the record for the earliest that we've gotten to 8 named storms in a season. That previous record was August 15th. We got to this one on August 2nd. It actually turned into a tropical storm last night at 11 o'clock. So a pretty amazing hurricane season continues. This is why we've had a couple of storms firing off in the North Country. Actually comfortable air in northern New England right now. And then you get that really humid air being squeezed out ahead of a front. This little front right in here. Look at the dew point in Burlington, Vermont, 58. Glens Falls, 72. And along that boundary, a couple of showers and storms fired up. Again, they should be weakening overnight tonight. By the time you wake up tomorrow morning, it should be mainly clear. Midnight, we're clear. You can see by 8 o'clock in the morning, maybe a few clouds. Moving into western New York, we're going to be watching a front that will very gradually make its way into the area by Friday. But tomorrow shouldn't be that bad of a day. It should be mainly dry. Maybe a pop-up storm, much like today during the afternoon, but about 90% of the area staying dry. 8 o'clock tomorrow night, we are mainly clear here in Albany. 82 at 7 o'clock tonight. See overnight, temperatures really not falling off too much, probably a degree or two warmer than last night. We're 67 by 5 o'clock in the morning, lower 60s in the Berkshires, 70 your temperature down in Hudson. And during the day on Thursday, yeah, it's going to be a scorcher. 92 in Hudson, those bank thermometers might say about 100. 87 your temperature from Pittsfield up to North Adams. They're in the sun. They're usually a little bit off. 86 your temperature in Gloversville at 4 o'clock. 67 tonight, isolated early thunderstorm up north, patchy fog developing late, wind becoming calm as we head into tomorrow. 94 in Albany, partly sunny and isolated afternoon storm, wind coming in from the southwest. Friday, a front moves on through. We're 87, lower to middle 80s over the weekend. Saturday, starting off at 59. Haven't had to talk about the 50s in a while. 80 on Saturday, 85 on Sunday. Maybe the humidity making a little bit of a return by Monday into Tuesday. Some more storms coming in. Then we're hot again by Wednesday.
All right. I got some good news and some bad news for you.
Tell me.
Here we go. There's more crude oil in the U.S., but gas supplies are dropping. The Energy Department reports an increase of 200,000 barrels in the nation's inventory of crude oil last week. Gasoline inventories declined by 4 million barrels in the same time period. That's being blamed on the recent problems at refineries. Coming up on News 10 at 5, a museum in Saratoga is giving gas to the racing industry. Murph will have the details. Plus, a Discovery astronaut goes where no man has gone before. We'll let you know about the spacewalk like no other. But first, today's closing numbers: the Dow up nearly 14, the NASDAQ, though, down more than a point.
It's Huck's favorite sale. It's bigger and better than ever. It's Wacky Weekend. A crazy price on lighting fixtures. Take an additional 20% off the warehouse prices. An insane deal on storage. This heavy-duty cabinet, just $77. 4-piece wicker seating groups, wow, just $188. 6x9 area carpets in commercial quality, just $29. It's Wacky Weekend. It's so wacky, it's starting on Friday.
Huck's Warehouse and more.
This is definitely the best experience I've had. They went out of their way for me. They made me feel like I was number one and like I was their only customer.
If I had to describe Mohawk Honda in one word, it'd be exceptional, from the sales department to the service department.
Mohawk Honda made first-time car buying a great experience.
They know your name, you come in, they repair your car for you while you wait. They make the whole experience very pleasurable.
Come to Mohawk Honda. We'll go out of our way to please you.
Cinderella rock never stops. Prepare yourself for the summer's biggest rock show, featuring Cinderella. Together live with special guests Red, Quiet Riot, and Firehouse. August 10th at the Palace Theater. Tickets are on sale at the box office or online at palacealbany.com or call 518-476-1000. Tickets also at Ticketmaster locations.
At Price Chopper, all our customers have one thing in common. They're looking to save money.
We're on a pretty tight budget. So I asked her, can we only buy what we need right now?
Sure. There's always tons of low-priced items, and they're also low for a long, long time. That's why we save money every time I shop.
Oh, really?
I know how to handle a tight budget.
I'm that.
Thousands of new lower prices good till fall. It's a great way to save. And it's only at Price Chopper.
Eliot Spitzer might have his hands full if Rudy Giuliani runs for governor. That's according to a new poll out today. It shows that the Republican Giuliani leading the current Attorney General, 49 to 42%. It's a hypothetical matchup. Regardless, Giuliani has already mentioned he's not interested in running for the state's top job. Former Iraq POW Jessica Lynch will be honored tomorrow at a fundraising event being held in Saratoga Springs. A 22-year-old from West Virginia will receive the Hope and Courage Award from the Teresian House Foundation. I will be emceeing that event on behalf of WTEN. Lynch was an Army supply clerk riding in a convoy through an Iraqi town in 2003, you'll remember, when her vehicle was ambushed after making a wrong turn. She suffered serious injuries, was rescued by American soldiers that made a movie out of it. She'll be in Saratoga tomorrow evening. Massachusetts Governor Mitt Romney is planning his first international trip as governor for next month when he visits Israel. Romney is exploring a presidential run, has very little foreign policy experience. The Republican governor's trip is being arranged by the American Israel Public Affairs Committee, a powerful pro-Israel lobby that offers free trips to elected leaders. Romney aides described the late September trip as a trade mission. Along with the track, the Thoroughbred Racing Museum and Hall of Fame, one of the major summertime attractions in Saratoga, but it isn't the only racing museum in the Spa City. Dan Murphy's here with that.
Yeah, the Saratoga Automobile Museum isn't about racing, at least not all the time, but right now there's an exhibit on display honoring the 1951 Indy 500 winner, Lee Wallard, who you may be surprised to know was a native of Altamont. The exhibit includes 3 showcases of memorabilia, many previously unseen, but here is the pride and joy, Wallard's 1951 Indy winning car, the Offenhauser-powered Bellinger number 99, considered by many racing aficionados as the most beautiful race car ever built. Saratoga has it on loan from the Indianapolis 500 Museum.
And one of the curators said none of the winning cars ever leave the Indianapolis Motor Speedway museums, but we talked to them and talked about this, how unique this was, and having it here, especially in New York State, and being one of the most beautiful cars here.
The car and the entire exhibit will be on display through March. Wallard, who was a tractor driver in Altamont, which is how he could handle those race cars, also the first general manager of Fonda Speedway, the Saratoga Automobile Museum located in Saratoga Spa State Park on the Avenue of the Pines. Dan Murphy, News 10.
The final public meeting on the proposal to fix up the old Rensselaer Ironworks site is tonight. The money for the project comes from a $400,000 grant. It'll be used to restore the ironworks as well as build a 5-acre park along the South Troy waterfront. City leaders hope both public and private investments will be attracted to the area. The meeting begins tonight at 7 at City Hall. It was a good day for NASA. The Discovery astronauts successfully completed an unprecedented feat. We'll have the details on the cakewalk of a spacewalk. And coming up at News 10 at 5:30.
Not everybody at State DOT thought that ramp was safe enough when it was inspected 2 years ago. That's what sources are telling me, and I'll have the story coming up on News 10.
Any thunderstorms will be clearing out during the evening hours as we lose that daytime heating. It should be mainly clear by midnight tonight.
Harness racing at Saratoga is better than ever, and this month your chances of winning are even greater. On Friday, August 12th, it's our annual New York Lottery Ticket Night. Free drawings for instant game tickets all night. On August 19th, giveaways all evening, including a grand prize trip for 2 to Las Vegas. On August 26th, the spectacular Hot to Trot fireworks show is a definite must-see event. This summer, come on out to the night track. It's Hot to Trot.
Uh-oh, little one. What you got there? You don't need all that, little bear. Now that's enough, yeah, you can be sure. With Charmin Ultra, less is more. When we say less is more, less is more. More absorbent than the regular Ripple brand, for sure. What you used to love, now you're gonna adore. With Charmin Ultra, now that feels good. Less is more. Chow, chow, chow. Ultra. Charmin.
Rumor Salon and Day Spa. You're more than our client. You're our guest. Let our highly educated team of designers give you a look that's fresh and new or glamorous and avant-garde. Enjoy 5-star service in an elegant, relaxing atmosphere. Rumor Salon and Day Spa, New Loudon Road, Latham.
Rumors for men dedicated to excellence in superior masculine grooming, because today's successful man has to look and feel his best. Voted best men's salon in the capital region. Rumors for Men, New Loudon Road, Latham. Get the winning image you deserve.
Lobsters aren't red until they're cooked. On a lobster, the color red looks great, but not on people. Sunburns don't just sting. Each year there are 1 million new cases of skin cancer diagnosed. Just one bad sunburn as a child can lead to melanoma later in life. The best line of defense is to educate kids on the importance of sun protection. Keep it covered. Your skin will thank you for life. This message is brought to you by New York Oncology Hematology. Premier cancer care, close to home.
NASA is confident tonight that a quick fix to the space shuttle has removed a possible danger to a safe return home. One of the Discovery astronauts did the job during a walk in space and took pictures of the whole thing. Here's Gloria Riviera.
Copy all and understand, and am ready to go.
This is the view not seen before. Discovery's underside from space.
Steve Robinson headed for the shuttle Discovery.
Astronaut Stephen Robinson wore a camera on his helmet as he became the first astronaut to venture underneath an orbiting space shuttle.
Vegas, I'm ready to go in and get it when you are.
Robinson easily removed the 2 gap fillers jutting out from Discovery. NASA was concerned they might be stuck and could cause dangerous overheating upon re-entry. But Robinson pulled them out with his gloved hands in just seconds.
Okay, that came out very easily, probably even less force. It looks like this big patient is cured.
It was a delicate and critical mission. Robinson was secured to a 58-foot robotic arm controlled by his colleagues on the International Space Station.
Pitch me up 15 degrees, please.
Engineers are considering whether to send an astronaut out again to try and repair a thermal blanket that may have been ripped during takeoff.
Those options would include things that would say cut the blanket and pull it off, or shred it so that it comes off in small pieces before we get into lower Mach numbers, where a larger piece could come off and fly back and hit the vehicle further aft and cause damage.
Dealing with that would mean a 4th unplanned spacewalk. Discovery is scheduled to re-enter the Earth's orbit and land next Monday. Gloria Riviera, ABC News at the Johnson Space Center in Houston.
Albany International Airport could be losing 14 security screeners because of federal cuts to the Transportation Security Administration. Cuts will be made to airports across the state, but Albany is one of the hardest hit. Last year, Albany Airport had a record number of passengers. To deal with the crowds, the airport has undertaken a multi-million-dollar expansion project that would add 2 new screening lanes and expand the waiting and concession areas. It'll be interesting to see how that all shakes out. Part of that expansion also includes lengthening the runway to prevent a plane crash like the one in Toronto yesterday. The 2-year project, which began last year, will lengthen the runway from 7,200 to 8,500 feet. Crews are also working to fill a ravine and part of Shaker Creek with dirt to create an even longer level surface.
We feel that our runway at 7,200 feet met the minimum qualifications. We want to extend that to make it a safer runway for pilots. You always want a little bit of extra.
The total price tag for the project, $17 million, with most of the money coming from federal funds. Construction work is expected to be completed by next summer. A popular minivan is being recalled for problems with airbags. Honda is recalling more than 85,000 of the 2005 Honda Odysseys because external impact sensors may have not been sealed properly. If water enters the sensor, the front airbags may not deploy. The recall is expected to begin August 29th. Still ahead on News 10 at 5, you are what you eat. We're going to tell you how sodium and fat are not the only things you have to worry about when you're eating French fries.
Save now during Raymore and Flanigan Furniture's extraordinary savings event.
Hot. Nice job.
Sure, I'm an actress doing a TV commercial, but my family needs furniture too. I'm really impressed with Raymore and Flanigan. And right now you'll find extraordinary savings store-wide, including brand name, and get delivery in 3 days or less. And now through Wednesday, Raymore and Flanigan has interest-free financing till 2008. Today, I came as an actress. Tomorrow, I'll come as a customer.
Where can you find luxury and affordability in one place? Prestwick Chase at Saratoga. Here, seniors enjoy a variety of social and cultural opportunities with affordable luxury apartments and private cottages nestled among 120 picturesque acres. Everything you need is at your fingertips in a secure, maintenance-free setting. It's carefree living with no buy-in or membership fees. There is also assisted living just in case you need it. Prestwick Chase for the best season of your life.
Hey, Mr. Opportunity here. Remember me? Now, I may not be as good looking as that Accord LX, but you're really going to like what I have to say. It's Honda clearance time. Now, that means choose a beautiful coupe or sedan of your choice for a deal that'll make your head spin. Look, the final decision is yours. I'm just trying to point you in the right direction. The 2005 Honda clearance. Now you can lease an Accord LX for $199 a month for well-qualified customers at where else? Your Honda dealer. I'm Mr. Opportunity. I'm back. And I'm knocking.
It's time for Coca's tremendous clearance sale. Now through 4 p.m. Sunday. Every appliance, every television, everything you need for your home. All priced to move. Save up to 40% on floor models, scratch and dent, and overstock items. Everything must go. Choose from brand names like Amana, Maytag, Frigidaire, Whirlpool, KitchenAid, Sony, Toshiba, JVC, and more. Plus take up to 24 months, no interest financing. Save big, save now. It's our huge clearance event. Now through Sunday, only at Coca.
Buy one adult ticket to the Catskill Game Farm, and the second adult is free with coupon. Get the coupon in your local paper or at CatskillGameFarm.com. This special offer ends soon.
A very popular food is being scrutinized yet again because it may cause cancer. The state of California wants to put warning labels on French fries because a 3-year-old study suggests the cooking process produces a carcinogen called acrylamide. Recent findings show no evidence of increased cancer as a result of eating French fries, though. Officials with the Idaho Potato Commission say the warnings are taking it to the extreme.
Any warning label on French fries or potato chips because of acrylamides, then to be fair, you're going to have to put it on bread. You're going to have to put it on all the ready-to-eat cereals you're eating, those high-brand cereals. They have acrylamide.
Well, California officials have not decided whether to include the warning labels yet because it may not be the best way to educate people about the suspected or alleged cancer risk. 2 footwear giants are merging in an effort to chase down industry leader Nike. Adidas has put together a deal to acquire Reebok. The $3.8 billion transaction would bring together 2 lines of footwear and 2 impressive stables of celebrity spokespeople. It would also give Adidas about 1/5 of the American shoe market. The purchase must be approved by stockholders and regulators in the U.S. and Europe. If you have a news story, you see news happening, that's the number to call. 1-800-888-WTEN. News 10 at 5:30 starts right now.
Live from WTEN, Tracy Egan, Chief Meteorologist Steve Caparizzo. This is News 10 at 5:30.
Not everybody at State DOT was satisfied 2 years ago with the safety inspection of that elevated ramp from 787 that collapsed last week. The section that collapsed got the second lowest rating possible. John McLaughlin has more.
Sources close to DOT say that some staffers were concerned at the time about the safety of the ramp because the rocker bearings that support the span had tilted severely, as you can see in this photo. Tilted more than they're supposed to accommodate expansions and contractions. As a result, the bearings and the bolts on that one specific pier were given a poor safety rating, the only 2 rating out of the dozens and dozens of elements of the span that were inspected. DOT says that a 2 rating falls somewhere between totally deteriorated and in need of replacement and a 3 rating, indicating serious deterioration. Last week, the ramp on top of those bearings slid toward the adjoining section that fell off its bearings, nearly causing a catastrophe. We talked with motorists about that safety inspection.
It's asking for somebody to get killed.
They felt that it was safe to leave it that way until an inspection later this year.
Well, they were wrong, apparently.
I'm sure DOT's doing everything that they can.
Every time I go over a bridge, I think about it.
I think if you're going to give something a rating system and something that we should be monitoring in terms of someone's safety, then you should take it seriously.
Well, we asked DOT this morning if they could give the public some idea of how many other ramps and bridges in the capital region or parts of ramps are rated 2 or lower for safety. Also, for comment about reports that some staffers were concerned 2 years ago. So far, no response from the state. Live in the newsroom, John McLaughlin, News 10.
Former CBA instructor Beth Geisel is out of jail, but a team of investigators is still looking into her past. The 16-year-old that claimed he had sex with Geisel in her home and in the press box at CBA is now saying they also had sex in Ravenna. Geisel's already facing 2 counts of rape in the 3rd degree in Colony. Albany County DA David Soares says the investigation into her alleged sexual contact with students is widening. Meantime, Geisel is now undergoing substance abuse counseling and a psychological evaluation. She must also abide to a 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. curfew while living in New York State. Let's turn now to Jeff Smith for our first look at the weather.
Well, we had a couple of thunderstorms out there earlier, especially Saratoga County, central and northern portions of the county getting hit pretty hard right around 3 o'clock in the afternoon. The storm weakened as it headed into the Clifton Park area. Let's go over to our high-definition Doppler radar. That storm has gone by the wayside up in the northern portions of the viewing area, Warren County, Hamilton County, all the way up into western areas of Essex County, getting hit with some showers and storms right now. Nothing severe, just a few heavier downpours. If we loop this into motion, you see everything is tending to weaken. We had a little bit of purple there on the radar in southwestern Warren County, but that weakened as it moved into Saratoga County. Now we have another storm re-entering into the northwestern part of Warren County. So the northern stretches of our viewing area getting affected early tonight with a couple of showers. For tonight, 67 will be your low temperature, maybe a shower or a storm up north early, and then we clear out. Tomorrow, 94. So we're getting well into the 90s throughout the entire region during the day on Thursday. Relief is in sight, though. I'll have your complete 7-day forecast coming up in just a few minutes. Tracy?
Thanks, Jeff. Your option to lease a car may be a bit more inviting in the coming weeks. That's thanks to a move by Congress to supersede a law from New York State, a law that's been on the books since 1924. John Craig reports.
Good news. The option to lease a car in New York State is about to come back. It's an option that will save you money and free up car dealerships and banks to be more apt to do it. The federal transportation bill about to become law would eliminate so-called double dipping. Right now, New York state law says people injured in auto accidents that involve a leased car or truck are able to sue the manufacturer as well as the driver. So for most drivers, leasing was not an option.
Because of the money that you pay up front and the money that you got to pay at the end. I mean, you know,
No, I'm not interested in leasing at all.
I can't think of a bigger deterrent to leasing cars than the present law.
Coming back to leasing, it cuts the payments right in half. We can get back down to in the $500 range and the $600 range on monthly payments. So it actually should be good for business.
New York's Senate Majority Leader Joe Bruno says Congress took aggressive action on this and calls it a victory for consumers. President Bush is expected to sign the bill in the next 2 weeks. John Craig, News 10.
Well, the number of New Yorkers in the market for a new car is going down. According to a new Siena poll, just 10.8% of the New Yorkers surveyed say they plan to buy a new car or truck in the near future. That's down 5 percentage points from last month. Analysts suggest the automaker's recent employee discount promotions were so successful that most people who would have bought an automobile this year have already done so. Overall, consumer confidence in New York State remained high in July, just above 93%. However, only 76% of respondents expressed confidence in the future of the economy. Traffic got backed up along Central Avenue in Albany this afternoon after a motorcycle ended up on top of a car. It happened near the intersection of Central and Quail just after 3 o'clock. The driver of the motorcycle had to be taken to the hospital for his injuries. No one in the car was hurt at all. Police are still trying to figure out how that happened. New York Governor George Pataki signed a bill into law today that creates a new oversight board for the New York Racing Association. The 5-member board will oversee all of NYRA's transactions and operations. It will also make recommendations for improving NYRA governance and review budgets and capital plans. The governor says he believes that board will promote public confidence in the racing and gaming industry. Albany High School could soon be growing. The school board has released plans for a renovated and expanded high school. 4 wings would be added. Each of them would serve 650 students. The wings would have their own entrances as well as their own cafeterias. The existing building would include specialty classrooms and an expanded auditorium. Voters will be asked to approve the expansion next May, but that's a project that could top $70 million. Plans to bring a naval training facility to the Schenectady County Airport could be put on hold. Reportedly, Schenectady County cannot charge the Federal Aviation Administration only $1 to lease the space that's just northwest of the airport. The FAA says the county must charge the government the fair market value for the land, which runs about $25,000. The $20 million Naval Operations Center would train up to 600 Navy and Marine Guard members and reservists. The center was scheduled to open in early 2007. Well, it's not quite lights out yet in Lake George. Village officials say they may soften some of their quality of life zoning proposals after the ideas got an angry reaction at Monday's board meeting. One of the most controversial plans would have banned backlit signs from most vending machines. Business owners complained that ban would cost them money, and many residents worried less lighting would create safety problems. Another very deadly day for U.S. troops in Iraq coming up. We'll update you on the latest casualties and explain their connection to upstate New York. Plus, Jeff Smith will have your storm track forecast.
Fiery plane crash in Toronto. Hear what people flying in from that city have to say about it. I'm Dory Marlin. I'll have that story coming up.
Plus, Jeff Smith will have your forecast coming up.
As the sweltering days of summer come to pass, the time comes for an event so momentous it can't be missed. The Toyota Time Clearance Event. See our unstoppable lineup of high-mileage champs like Prius and the new Highlander Hybrid with Hybrid Synergy Drive. With 9 models rated 30 or more miles per gallon, Toyota brings a level of performance that can't be beat. The clock's running, so catch the Toyota Time Clearance Event now. With deals like these, everyone wins. That's moving you forward.
See lots of different kinds of shoppers at Price Chopper, but they all have one thing in common. They're always looking to save money.
Shopping with the kids means the cart's even fuller than usual. Only one, honey. Luckily, they usually pick out stuff that's low price for weeks and weeks. Good, we need that. So I can save every time on the things they want when they want it. Okay, done.
Thousands of new lower prices good till fall. It's a great way to save. And it's only at Price Chopper.
It is now post time.
And party time.
Time for enchanting mornings. An exciting afternoon. Saturday, see the $750,000 Grade 1 Whitney Handicap and the best 3-year-old fillies in the test. Sunday, pick up a free Saratoga t-shirt and get autographs from NFL superstars.
Raymore and Flanagan has free next-day mattress delivery. Don't wait for your next mattress. Just choose the mattress that you want fast, because at Raymore and Flanagan,
It comes with next-day delivery.
Plus, our factory-trained bedding specialists can help you shop the Northeast's largest selection of quality Sealy and Stearns & Foster mattresses. So why pay extra to get your mattress that fast? Because at Raymore and Flanagan,
They all come with next-day delivery.
enjoy free next-day mattress delivery at Raymore and Flanagan Furniture. See store for details.
And now, your News 10 Storm Tracker forecast with meteorologist Jeff Smith.
Welcome back, everyone, and good evening. We've had 11 90-degree days so far this year. Tomorrow, we're going to be making it 12. We had a couple of thunderstorms form during the day today with that afternoon heating. And if we check our high-definition Doppler radar right now, everything tending to weaken right now. Over Warren County, if we zoom in here, the Baker's Mills area just south of there towards Thurman, getting a thunder shower, and also into southeastern portions of Hamilton County between Northville and Hope, getting a thunder shower as well. Don't expect any hail or high winds with these storms, maybe just a downpour and some frequent lightning, but everything will be tapering off as we lose that daytime heating. Let's take a look at your forecast for the next couple of days. 67 your low temperature for tonight, maybe an early thunder shower up north, but everything tending to clear out late. Tomorrow we're up to 94, count them, 94 degrees in the Albany area, maybe a little bit warmer off to our south, partly cloudy Friday. Some storms come on in with a cold front, 87, and that should make for a much nicer air mass for the weekend. Look at the mid-Atlantic right now, 95 in New York, 95 your temperature down in Philadelphia. Got a little bit of a sea breeze over in Boston. Temperatures only in the 70s over there because the wind coming in off the cooler Atlantic Ocean waters. 91 your temperature out in Rochester, New York right now. And the dew points down here are pretty high as well. Heat advisories have been issued for portions of the mid-Atlantic states. Not a very good place to be if you're sensitive to that type of weather. 83 right now in Albany, 79 Bennington, 80 North Adams, 77 up in Glens Falls. A couple of showers in that area, 81 your temperature up in Saranac Lake. Here's our satellite picture right now showing a little boundary that has been kind of pesky, to tell you the truth, during the past couple of days up in the North Country, causing showers and storms to fire up during the afternoons. Here is Tropical Storm Harvey right now, and Bermuda is under a hurricane watch because Tropical Storm Harvey might become Hurricane Harvey by later on tonight. Here's the center of the storm right now. You can see Bermuda right here, this little dot. Might not be able to see it. I can see it on the satellite picture. It's moving off to the north and east. We'll be in Bermuda by tomorrow afternoon. Probably a tropical storm, but there's a small chance of it becoming a hurricane. Tonight, anything really tapering off in terms of the showers up north. We're clear by early Thursday morning. A lot of sunshine during the day Thursday, and a wind coming in from the southwest will ensure that we get at least to the 90-degree mark here in Albany, and then by Thursday evening, can't rule out an isolated shower again up north. Still have that boundary between the dry air up in northern New England and the much more humid air here over eastern New York. Temperatures tonight getting down into the upper 60s, maybe even remaining at 70 or higher down in Hudson, lower to middle 60s in the Berkshires and southern Vermont. And then during the day on Thursday, yeah, we're up in the 90s or 89 by 4 o'clock, probably topping out at 94 here in Albany. Okay, 74 your temperature by midnight, an early thunder shower up north. We clear out late. Maybe a little bit of patchy fog after midnight. 71 by 7 o'clock in the morning. We're 84 by noon. 94 by 5 o'clock. 7-day forecast. 87 on Friday. Maybe some storms coming in during the afternoon. Those could be strong with a cold front moving in. Saturday and Sunday are looking really good. 59 your low temperature by Saturday or by Friday night into early Saturday morning. So a pretty stark contrast to 24 hours before that. And then Sunday looking good as well, 85. Maybe a couple more showers coming in for Monday and Tuesday as that humidity tries to make a little bit of a comeback. We're 88 by next Wednesday. But might as well get the nasty weather done with during the work week so we have a nice weekend.
Good idea. Thanks a lot, Jeff.
Yep.
Coming up here on News 10 at 5:30, a fiery plane crash turns out to be a textbook example of airline safety. We'll update you on the situation in Toronto. And a roadside bombing leaves more than a dozen American troops dead. Hear from top Pentagon brass who say the operation they were working on still qualifies as a success.
Albany Open MRI, the first open MRI in the capital region. Parking is only steps away from our door. We offer same-day appointments and accept most insurance plans. Our spacious MRI gives our patients, from the largest to the smallest, comfort and peace of mind. At Albany Open MRI, an ACR accredited facility, we give quick turnaround on medical reports, and our radiologists are all board certified. Albany Open MRI, helping you find answers. Conveniently located on Wolf Road, Albany.
Uh-oh, little one, what you got there? You don't need all that, little bear. Now that's enough, yeah, you can be sure. With Charmin Ultra, less is more. When we say less is more, less is more. More absorbent than the regular Ripple brand, for sure. What you used to love, now you're gonna adore. With Charmin Ultra, now that feels good. Less is more. Chow, chow, chow. Ultra. Charmin.
Ted's has the infinite surfaces of Abbey carpet, created just for you and your family. Comforting carpet, durable laminate, timeless area rugs, classic tile, rich hardwood. See the surfaces of Abbey today at Ted's Abbey Flooring and Decorating Center.
Ted's Abbey Flooring and Decorating Center. We're putting it all together.
A healthy home means a healthy baby. Did you know that poorly insulated homes can cause illnesses in children and infants, such as asthma, allergies, and make them more prone to colds and flus?
At Zero Draft, we solve problems such as dust mites, mold, mildew that can affect your family's health and well-being. As your home performance contractor, we guarantee improved indoor air quality and promise to save you money.
Call us today and Zero Draft your home tomorrow.
Investigators in Toronto continue to sift through wreckage of Air France Flight 358, trying to figure out what caused it to skid off the runway yesterday afternoon. Airline insiders say the industry will be talking about the crash long after they understand what went wrong because of what went right. The fire department got to the scene of the accident within 52 seconds. The crew got the passengers off the plane within 2 minutes. As a result, not a single person perished in that fiery crash.
Our flight attendants have perfectly managed the situation, which explains, and not a miracle, I think, which explains that we have no dead people in this crash.
Investigators will be looking at all the flight data information to learn more about what happened during the final seconds that the plane was in the air. They'll be paying special attention to whether the winds, thunder and lightning had anything to do with that crash. The first flight from Toronto to Albany landed this morning after all flights out of Toronto were canceled last night because of the crash. Passengers arriving today may not have been aboard the plane that caught fire, but they still had stories to tell. News 10's Dory Marlin reports.
I knew something was wrong. I said, that is not a storm. The storm.
Randy Roy knew something was wrong as he headed to Toronto's Pearson Airport for his flight to Albany, and he was right. It may have been stormy outside, but the thick cloud of smoke that he saw yesterday came from something else.
I smelled the rubber, and then the minute I get inside, the minute they announced about there was a crash and everything was canceled, I knew it was big trouble.
Big trouble was an understatement for Air France Flight 358. Craig Diamond and Anna Maria Parente were also headed to Albany. Both were aboard the last flight to land in Toronto for a layover, immediately in front of the Air France plane.
We saw the smoke from the airplane, so it was a pretty dramatic event for us as well.
We were getting a lot of information, so we knew that there was a crash outside. We were hoping actually no one was hurt, and then when we found out the extent of the damage, we were actually amazed.
Amazed that everyone made it out alive. And today, when they finally arrived in Albany one day late, those Toronto passengers seem to be counting their blessings as well.
Glad to be alive. Let's put it that way.
Can you imagine those people there to pick up their relatives and their friends and maybe not have them get off and be okay? Boy, that's a miracle.
In Colony, Dory Marlin, News 10.
Another deadly day in Iraq. This time, 14 Marines have been killed by a roadside bomb. The attack came near the town of Haditha. The troops killed came from the same Ohio-based battalion that lost 6 elite snipers in a firefight on Tuesday. Both groups were part of a larger operation aimed at sealing off the Syrian border to keep foreign fighters from coming into Iraq. In spite of casualties, the Pentagon says the mission has been very effective.
That's not so new.
Because of the simultaneity of operations that Multinational Force West is conducting, they don't have that freedom of movement, and I think that's one of the contributing causes.
The names of the victims in today's attack have not been released yet. The 3rd Battalion, 25th Marines, has units based in various locations, including Buffalo. A new hope tempered by tragedy in Virginia. 26-year-old Susan Torres died this morning in Arlington. The brain-damaged woman had been disconnected from life support after giving birth yesterday to a baby girl. Torres had been in a coma since suffering a stroke in May, related to cancer that had spread to her brain. Doctors have worked around the clock ever since then to save her child. They knew they could not save the mother. Relatives say the child will serve as a living reminder of Susan.
You have no idea how hard some people fought for you. And you have no idea how important you are to us.
The baby, named Susan after her mom, weighed just 1 pound 13 ounces. She's not out of the woods just yet. The other baby was the couple's first child. Doctors will be watching this new baby closely over the next several years to make sure her mom's cancer didn't spread to her through the placenta. Some Capital Region kids braved the hot weather today for the thrill of competition. Coming up, the first ever City of Albany Youth Triathlon. And later, find out why the Weather Service says they expect this hurricane season to be a very stormy one.
As you can see by our radar picture, during the past 12 hours, some thunderstorms managed to make their way into the North Country, even Saratoga County, but they should be dying off during the evening hours.
At Living Resources, we enrich the lives of people with disabilities and help their families. We care deeply about our mission, helping people achieve their highest level of independence. We have openings for great jobs at Living Resources. We provide free training, and we value our employees for their special contributions.
Hi, I'm Fred Ehrlich, CEO of Living Resources. Find out how you could join our family. Call 346-8888, extension 8. Living Resources, we light the way.
Lantheus Grove is summer. This Latham landmark has everything you need for a great outdoor celebration. Many spacious picnic tables for relaxing, softball, volleyball, and horseshoes for summer fun. And don't forget the food. In addition to a traditional picnic menu, Lantheus Grove offers lobster and clam bakes, steak roast, and chicken barbecues. You can even get a clam bake to go for your backyard holiday picnics. For your next company picnic or family gathering, make it Lantheus Grove on Dunsback Ferry Road, just off Route 9 in Latham.
Hey, Mr. Opportunity again. If you're one of those people who likes to have choices, then you are going to love my next 2 words, Honda Clearance. Because it's your opportunity to pick the Accord, Civic, Odyssey, or any other Honda you want for a deal that's very nice. Come on, Honda Plus Clearance. Do I have to draw you a picture? You get it? The 2005 Honda Clearance. Now you can lease a top-of-the-line Pilot EX for $269 a month for well-qualified customers. I'm Mr. Opportunity. I'm back. And I'm knocking.
Next week? I'll call you back. Wouldn't it be nice if there was a place that could change our tires that fast?
For the fastest tire service anywhere, Mick Papello's Grand Premier Tire. No waiting, no appointments. You pull in, we replace your tires right away, on the spot. We'll do it now. Our on-site warehouse is fully stocked with thousands of tires. Your brand, your size, your budget. The fastest tire service anywhere. Mick Papello's Grand Premier Tire. Tires today.
Right now at Boscov's, the semi-annual blazer sale. Cross and Windsor wool blend blazers just $79.99. Big and portly sizes just $89.99. That's over 50% off. The semi-annual blazer sale going on now at Boscov's.
Coming up at 6 on News 10.
A former private school teacher caught up in a sex scandal brings about a big public reaction. I'm Christy Mazurek. Hear how more charges could be coming and more witnesses are being talked to today. That's coming up at 6.
I'm Terry McSweeney. Also tonight on News 10 at 6, local reaction to the Geisel sex scandal. You may be surprised to hear who some say is getting a bad rap. Also, hot enough for you? It was too hot for many, and they've been turning up in emergency rooms. We'll take you in for a checkup. Check it out on News 10 at 6 in just a few minutes. Tracy, I'll see you there.
Thanks, Terry. Today's hot weather didn't stop some Albany kids from taking part in a triathlon. John Spadafore has their story.
They were biking,
Go! Go, buddy!
swimming, and running at the Lincoln Park pool. Kids of all ages competed in the first ever City of Albany Youth Triathlon.
Very competitive, but I love competing.
whether it's for money or not. And I just like doing it.
Too hot, isn't it? Is it too hot to do this?
It's a little bit hot. But I'm getting through it. I was hot when I was racing. I'm not going to lie.
For the kids, it's a chance to compete and have a good time.
2 lines for the bike over here.
But it also teaches them about fitness and, most importantly, gives them something to do.
All right. Good job.
We want to bring them in here and give them a chance to interact with all the other kids. And as you can see, they're clapping for each other as they're going around. And giving them an environment that they can participate in things like this is much better than hanging out on the street.
75 kids competed in this heat. The top finishers received medals, while everybody got a certificate of participation. But today was not about winning or losing.
It's just nice that we can go out on a sunny day and compete against each other. But it's not if you win or lose. It's just about having fun.
In Albany, John Spadafora, News 10.
Good philosophy. Well, is it nature's cycle or a man-made problem? Coming up, find out why forecasters see plenty of stormy weather in our future.
Another hot day coming up for tomorrow. With the heating of the afternoon, there could be a shower or storm from Lake George on to the north.
Don't miss Roy Matthews' 26th anniversary sale. These are Roy Matthews' absolute lowest prices of the year. Don't miss this opportunity to save. Roy Matthews, Energy Star, and GE Profile, where style marries innovation. Roy Matthews and GE now offer cash rebates up to $650 on GE Profile Energy Star appliances. Save on GE Energy Star refrigerators, washers, and dishwashers. Roy Matthews offers no payments or interest for a year if credit qualified. Roy Matthews TV and Appliance Center 26th anniversary sale, 113 Mohawk Avenue, Scotia, where you can talk to the owner. Best prices, just ask.
The OBGYN.
How much should you pay for a dining room? Take this country pine table with ladder back chairs. You could pay up to $1,300 at other stores, or buy it at Old Brick for just $8.97. Let's say you want oak, like this oak table with 6 Windsor chairs. Other stores, $1,600 and up. Old Brick, just $8.97. The best prices every day. Nobody beats the Brick.
Affordable Motors, now you're good to go.
Affordable Motors, the home of hassle-free pricing. Most vehicles priced under $39.95. We don't dicker. We don't need to. We save you the time, the hassle, and especially the money. With 3 locations and financing available, your buying experience at Affordable Motors cannot be beat.
With hassle-free pricing at Affordable Motors, now you're good to go.
Top forecasters are warning residents in the Caribbean and along the Gulf Coast of America to prepare for the worst. The National Weather Service says it expects at least 5 more major hurricanes this season. They say a combination of factors, including warm waters, low wind shear, and the jet stream, all favor storm formation. Hurricanes have been on the rise since 1995, and scientists have different theories about why. Some say it's just part of nature's climate cycle, while others blame man-made global warming. And I don't know where Jeff Smith stands on that, but it's certainly hot in the capital region. Jeff?
Yeah, and we have had an incredible hurricane season so far. 8 named storms. We got Tropical Storm Harvey forming last night at 11 o'clock. Hurricane watch actually in effect for Bermuda with that system, but we haven't even reached the most active part of the season, so it wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility for 10 more storms or so to form. Let's go over to our own weather here on our high-definition Doppler radar. Parts of Warren County actually getting some isolated thunder showers. Brant Lake and Chestertown, right between those 2 towns, getting hit pretty hard. Some downpours, maybe some frequent lightning. And just west of the town of Thurman, I'm going to zoom out here and put everything into motion during the past hour, everything moving from north to south. Right near the Lake George area is going to be affected probably during the next half hour. I wanted to put on a product called Future Scan, and we can see where these storms are headed. Again, Lake George, northern portion of the lake, going to be hit pretty soon, and these storms will probably weaken as they have been heading into Saratoga County. Let's check out our forecast for tonight, 71, or for tomorrow, 71. Your temperature at 7 o'clock in the morning, maybe an isolated shower tonight and then clearing out. 84 by noontime. We're 94 by 5 o'clock, so getting well into the 90s for tomorrow. 87 on Friday, maybe a thunder shower during the afternoon. We clear out for Saturday into Sunday. That thunder shower on Friday associated with a cold front, so we have a much more comfortable air mass moving on in. We're 59 by Saturday morning, 80 during the day, 85 by Sunday, and the humidity tries to make a comeback by Monday, Tuesday into Wednesday, maybe a thunder shower Monday into Tuesday. That is the 7-day forecast. The news at 6 o'clock continues.
Live from WTEN, the news team that's leading the way in local news coverage. This is News 10 at 6.
Police conduct more interviews as they investigate the CBA sex scandal.
Christy Mazurek joins us with the latest on the investigation of Beth Geisel.
As we first reported last night, the case continues to grow against Beth Geisel. Today, investigators with the Albany County DA's office called in students from Christian Brothers Academy to be re-interviewed. And sources tell News 10 more charges are expected to be filed soon, connected to the latest claim coming from the 16-year-old boy that sparked off the criminal action against the popular instructor. She's out of jail, but sources tell News 10 Beth Geisel is very much in the middle of this new heated-up investigation. Officials in the DA's office are talking with witnesses, retracing their stories about so-called sex acts between the former instructor and at least 4 students. Beth, you're being called a rapist by police. Any comment on that? The new interview session follows a News 10 exclusive report citing the new case coming forward in Ravenna. A case connected to the same 16-year-old that claims he had sex with Beth Geisel in the school's press box overlooking the football field and the woman's home. His third alleged hookup happened at a home in Ravenna. Sources tell News 10 it doesn't end there. Investigators with the DA's office are looking for how many students are connected to the case. Back in June, CBA fired Geisel after school officials found out police caught her in a parked car with a 17-year-old student. Then they learned of another relationship with another 17-year-old. Now investigators are trying to backtrack a timeline to see if those students may have met up with Geisel before turning 17, New York's legal age of consent. Sources say they re-interviewed witnesses to so-called sex acts connected to Geisel today. It's expected to continue tomorrow. That's why they're holding off on filing official charges against Geisel in Ravenna until those talks are complete. Now, CBA's been quiet since the story broke, but today they issued a statement, not about Beth Geisel, but about the media coverage, condemning some of our colleagues for harassing students' families, using yearbook photos, and paying for interviews. All are not connected to News 10. Christy Mazurek, News 10.
The sex scandal is what people are talking about here in the capital region and now around the country. The national media has picked up the story, one of many where a female teacher is accused of having sex with a student. Steve Emmerman has more of the reaction.
Turn on the national news.
Now to the new teacher sex scandal we've been telling you about.
Pick up a paper and flip on the radio.
Somebody in the CBA administration look the other way.
The Beth Geisel story is what people are talking about. Paul Vandenberg's morning radio program on WROW was flooded with calls on the topic.
Regardless of, whether in the physical sense he was willing to participate, I think there's a significant amount of grooming that went on and manipulation.
Girls that are raped virtually never consent to it, if ever. And that is the big difference between the culpability here. The boy had to be an accepting partner. Don't you agree?
Yes, I do. Most treating it as a serious topic, a teacher abusing her position and allegedly her students. Some worried what this could mean for CBA.
Interesting, it's salacious, it's got all the things of a Hollywood movie, and it's just unfortunate because there's too much good that's come out of that academy.
So why all the media attention? Well, Vandenberg says it comes down to one word: sex. One of his listeners called that a sad, sad, sad statement. But it seems to be true.
I'm just coming from work, and it seems to be the subject that everyone's talking about.
It's salacious, it's sexy. I guess that sells, right?
It does. It does. It's better than the Iraq war, I guess, to some people. I don't think it's that important.
In today's world, important enough until at least the next sex scandal comes along. Steve Ammerman, News 10.
This has become a familiar sight, the portion of 787 near the Dunn Memorial Bridge that buckled, closing the road and raising questions about how the road could have gotten this bad. Well, now News 10 has learned that some DOT staffers had serious safety concerns years ago. John McLaughlin is in the newsroom with more. John.
Terry, News 10 has learned that some staffers at State DOT were expressing concern 2 years ago about the safety of the 787 ramp that collapsed after an inspection turned up a very low safety rating on one particular part. Now, overall, DOT says the elevated ramp was found to be safe, but the very pier where the span collapsed last week showed a serious safety problem back in 2003. The rocker bearings supporting the span had tilted more severely. That's the photo there. Than they're supposed to. DOT itself rated the rocker bearings just 2 for safety. That's the second lowest rating. But DOT says it determined that the ramp was safe enough to let it go until after another inspection this fall. We talked with motorists about that. Does that give you concern about driving on them?
Yeah, it really does. I mean, I'd hate to be that car, the first car that drove over the broken ramp.
Well, I guess no one should be surprised at a collapse. Does it concern you at all that there might be pieces out there even
Definitely.
as we speak?
Yes. Oh, yeah. Every time I go over a bridge, I think about it.
Now, this is what it looked like when the rocker bearing on the adjoining span to the one in question shifted and collapsed last week. Sources close to DOT tell News 10 that some staffers had voiced their concern at the time about the low safety rating, but it is not clear where those concerns led. Well, we asked DOT this morning if they could tell us how many other ramps and bridges, or even parts of bridges here in the capital region, are rated 2 or lower. We've still gotten no callback from DOT. Live in the newsroom, John McLaughlin, News 10.
A developing story in Greene County. Dive teams have pulled a body out of Sleepy Hollow Lake in Gooksaki. Police got a call at about 4 o'clock that someone saw a person yell for help and then go underwater. At this point, we don't know who the victim is or the circumstances surrounding the incident. We do have a crew on the scene, and we'll let you know if anything else develops.
Some Colony residents are finally getting a fix to a dangerous methane gas problem. A developer will dig trenches in the Archmont Knoll subdivision, releasing the potentially dangerous gas. The methane was discovered 3 years ago, and residents have been waiting since then for a solution to the problem. The high levels of methane were nearly at an explosive level. The town of Colony has approved a plan in which the developer will be allowed to expand the subdivision as long as he digs the trenches for all the homeowners who request them. Lawsuits filed by some of those homeowners still pending against the town of Colony. A Saratoga County grand jury is expected to return indictments tomorrow against a Boston man accused in a fatal hit-and-run crash. 30-year-old Alexander Bennett could be charged under a new law, raising the punishment for leaving the scene of a crash to 7 years in prison. Police say Bennett was drunk when he hit 33-year-old Grania Maggio of New Jersey on July 2nd after she had attended a concert at SPAC. She was walking on Route 50 when police say Bennett hit her, then kept going. Witnesses were able to give state troopers Bennett's license plate number, which led to his arrest.
In Albany today, we found people who had to be out in the heat trying to beat it. On 2nd Avenue in Albany, 6-year-old Sabrina Wright is sharing her Beat the Heat secret with her friends. You may see a wading pool. She sees something else.
It's like a beach.
Her beach is only open to the neighborhood kids. Up the block, Dennis Brott's sweat is dripping off him as he makes some home repairs. He does know better, but...
Is it a hot day? Absolutely. Is it too hot to do this? Yes. But this is the only 2 day. I have 2 days a week that I can do it, and this is the only one of the days I can do it. So, I gotta do it.
When he's finished, Brott says he's heading home to a swimming pool. Ed Hamill says working on the scaffolding drives him to drink water.
Oh, boy. That's nectar today.
Hamill says he's never gotten sick from working in the heat, but he admits he and Larry Scott take things a little slower when it's scorching hot.
It's wearing me out, is what it's doing. It's just too hot to be up there. It's probably 100, 110 degrees up there in that scaffold. And that rigging is all aluminum, so you can imagine how warm it is up there. No fun, let me tell you.
I believe him. This evening, the state health department issued an ozone advisory for much of the state, including the capital region. Even before that warning came out, the local emergency rooms have seen an upswing in health problems brought on by heat and the air quality. At Albany Memorial Hospital, they see at least half a dozen patients on plus 90-degree days. Most of them have underlying health problems, such as high blood pressure or asthma, conditions that grow worse in the heat. But even healthy people can get caught off guard by the heat.
Try and pay attention to what your body's telling you. If you're starting to get fatigued and you're not feeling well and you're getting nauseous, you need to stop what you're doing, get into a cool place, rehydrate yourself. Don't keep pushing it because it'll only get worse.
Dr. Vogel says the ER sees more heat problems on the weekends when people who normally spend the day inside subject themselves to the stress of sporting or other outdoor activities.
Getting a set of wheels in New York could soon get easier and cheaper. We'll tell you why dealers are looking forward to a possible change in the law that could bring big changes to leasing cars.
Then big changes at Albany International Airport that could make landings there safer.
With the strong heating of the afternoon today, some thunder showers did develop and move into the North Country. They should be weakening during the overnight hours, and that will set up for a very hot Thursday.
It's time for Coca's tremendous clearance sale. Now through 4 p.m. Sunday. Every appliance, every television, everything you need for your home. All priced to move. Save up to 40% on floor models, scratch and dent, and overstock items. Everything must go. Choose from brand names like Amana, Maytag, Frigidaire, Whirlpool, KitchenAid, Sony, Toshiba, JVC, and more. Plus take up to 24 months, no interest financing. Save big, save now. It's our huge clearance event. Now through Sunday, only at Coca.
Uh-oh, little one. What you got there? You don't need all that, little bear. Now that's enough, yeah, you can be sure. With Charmin Ultra, less is more. When we say less is more, less is more. More absorbent than the regular Ripple brand, for sure. What you used to love, now you're gonna adore. With Charmin Ultra, now that feels good. Less is more. Chow, chow, chow. Ultra. Charmin.
Raymore & Flanigan has free next-day mattress delivery. Don't wait for your next mattress. Just choose the mattress that you want fast, because at Raymore & Flanigan, it comes with next-day delivery. Plus, our factory-trained bedding specialists can help you shop the Northeast's largest selection of quality Sealy and Stearns & Foster mattresses. So why pay extra to get your mattress set fast? Because at Raymore & Flanigan, they all come with next-day delivery. Enjoy free next-day mattress delivery at Raymore & Flanigan Furniture. See store for details.
Behind that building project, behind that home improvement, you'll find one thing, and it's lumber. Whether you're a builder or a contractor, a do-it-yourselfer or a weekend carpenter, nothing is more important than starting with quality lumber. Curtis Lumber is the Capital District source for every kind of lumber need. Now with 18 convenient locations, building projects that begin with exceptional lumber begin with Curtis Lumber.
For years, New Yorkers have been unable to lease a car or had to pay a lot more to lease. That could soon change. John Craig has the story.
Well, Terry, we could be seeing shiny new cars on the road soon. They may indeed be leased cars, but that's because the option to lease a car in New York State is about to come back. A federal transportation bill that President Bush is about to sign into law would eliminate so-called double dipping. That is to say that if in New York State you get into an auto accident with a person driving a leased car, you can sue the driver and the manufacturer of the car. Sales managers of dealerships would like to see the lease back on the table because it would increase repeat customers.
Trial lawyers and sales tax. It's been a great source of sales tax for the state of New York. And hopefully that'll come to the end.
I think it has to do with insurance companies trying to make more money. We're in a very litigious society. There's a lot of lawsuits. This is probably just another layer of suing.
The law has been in place since 1924 and was designed to protect limousine and taxi passengers and the drivers. The sales manager at Lazari said that several years ago, leasing was about 60% of their business each month. It's dropped to 25% a month today. John Craig, News 10.
At Albany International Airport, work's underway that could eventually prevent a crash like yesterday's in Toronto. A 2-year project, which began last year, will lengthen the runway from 7,200 feet to 8,500. Crews are also working to fill a ravine and part of Shaker Creek with earth to create an even raised surface for pilots to land on. The goal is to keep all planes safely on the runway during landings.
And we feel that our runway at 7,200 feet met the minimum qualifications. We want to extend that to make it a safer runway for pilots. You always want a little bit of extra.
The total price tag for the project, $17 million, with most of the money coming from federal funds. Construction work should be complete by next summer.
It won't get you in to see the Rolling Stones, but it will get you one step closer. Wristbands will be available beginning tomorrow morning. The wristband will not guarantee a ticket. It just guarantees a place in line for a ticket. A lottery system will then be used to figure out who gets the premium place at the head of the line. Here's the info. Wristbands become available 10 a.m. and will be given out until 7 p.m. The same hours apply on Friday. Then the line starts for tickets, 8:45 a.m. Saturday at the Pepsi Arena box office. Good luck.
Should be a big scene.
Yeah.
Well, another delay for a proposed Walmart in Rotterdam. We'll tell you what the holdup is and when the next step will be taken.
The entire region eclipsing the 90-degree mark on Thursday by 4 o'clock. Temperature of 89 in Albany and 92 in Hudson.
A slow day on Wall Street, where prices ended a little changed as oil futures backed down from a record high.
Create custom furniture that's exactly what you want and get it when you want it. Fast! Bassett's custom furniture sale is happening now only at Huckfin's Warehouse and More. Save 20% off any Simply Yours living room, 20% off Simply Yours bedrooms for kids, and you pick the colors. Design a Simply Yours dining set and save 20% during the custom furniture sale. Take advantage of special interest-free financing just for this event. Only at Bassett, only at Huckfin's Warehouse and More.
Get more jump at the pump, Tom. That's what I'm talking about.
Gas mileage supreme on these Hyundais during Wten 1000.
Look at this. Tucson, 27 miles a gallon. Santa Fe, 27 miles a gallon. Oh, my
XG.
God. XG, 26 miles a gallon. Sonata, 30 miles, 34 on the Elantra, 35 on the Accent. That's what I'm talking about, brother.
And you get a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. We're giving away color TVs every day. Stop by and register at Wten 1000 today.
Yeah!
It is now post time. And party time. Time for enchanting mornings. An exciting afternoon. Saturday, see the $750,000 Grade 1 Whitney Handicap and the best 3-year-old fillies in the test. Sunday, pick up a free Saratoga t-shirt and get autographs from NFL superstars.
At Price Chopper, all our customers have one thing in common. They're looking to save money.
It's just the two of us at home now, so we don't really mean too much. Try telling him that.
I'm an impulse guy. I see it on sale, I want it.
I tell him it'll still be on sale the next time. So many items are low priced for a really long time.
So we save money every time I get an impulse.
Yeah, right.
Thousands of new lower prices good till fall. A great way to save, only at Price Chopper.
And now, your News 10 Storm Tracker forecast with meteorologist Jeff Smith.
Welcome back, everyone. We still do have a couple of showers out there. Let's head right over to our high-definition Doppler radar. Warren County, actually moving into the Lake George area, right near Bolton Landing, about to get a pretty significant shower, maybe a few rumbles of thunder with that. But that is really the only lone thunder shower in the entire capital region, and that will be weakening during the next half hour as we lose all that daytime heating. Let's check out your forecast first as we head into the evening hours of tonight. Here in Albany, it shouldn't be too bad. Temperature of 82 by 8 o'clock, 74 by midnight. We're 71 by 7 o'clock in the morning. Any showers ending, things clearing out, maybe a little bit of patchy fog after midnight. 86 right now in Albany. The temperature actually went up a little bit. It was 88 earlier, went down to 83 after a thunderstorm moved on through Saratoga County. The outflow from that storm causing our wind to shift in from the north, and now it's back up again. Our wind has probably shifted back into the southwest over at the airport. 80 from Bennington down to North Adams. Your temperature in Pittsfield, 83. Look at Poughkeepsie, 96 degrees, so a lot hotter off to our south. Here are the dew points right here. North and east of us into northern New England, it's actually comfortable. That boundary between the really comfortable air and the really humid air causing those showers and storms to pop up during the past several afternoons in the North Country, and here they are. You can see they're a little bit stronger up into the central and northern Adirondacks. They're all going to be weakening again tonight. Not going to be worrying about them after about 7 o'clock. Tropical Storm Harvey right now forming well off the Atlantic coast, but we have a hurricane watch now for Bermuda. That expected to move off to the northeast, potentially becoming a hurricane. That, by the way, the 8th named storm of the season. Tonight, things clearing out. By the time you wake up Thursday morning, it should be mainly clear, maybe a little bit of patchy fog. During the day on Thursday, again, with that boundary still lingering up to our north, can't rule out a shower or a storm in the North Country, especially north of Lake George. See a little green on there on Futurecast indicating that, but that should be tapering off. Again, they're mainly a function of that daytime heating. 82, 7 o'clock tonight. By tomorrow morning, we're down into the upper 60s, maybe remaining at 70 or higher off to our south, especially down towards Poughkeepsie. They'll probably be about 72 for their low tonight. 89 at 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon in Albany, 92 in Hudson, upper 80s even in the Berkshires. For tonight, 67, an isolated early thunder shower, patchy fog forming late, wind becoming calm. And as we head into the day on Thursday, 94 will be your high here in Albany, partly sunny, maybe a storm cropping up during the afternoon up in the North Country. Wind coming in from the southwest at 5 to 10. That's important because it's going to bring that humid air. Cold front moves in on Friday. There's some more storms. Could be strong to severe Friday afternoon. We'll be watching it. We get the nice air coming in for the weekend after those strong storms, potentially Friday afternoon. Saturday, 80, 59 for your low temperature by Saturday morning. We're 85 on Sunday. Maybe the humidity trying to creep back in for Monday into Tuesday. But overall, not a bad weekend shaping up.
The 59 kind of stands out as a nice
yeah, we haven't had to talk about 50s in a while, and low humidity during the day as well.
Great. Jeff, thanks.
Yep.
Another delay for a proposed Walmart Supercenter in Rotterdam.
And we'll take you to the other racing museum in Saratoga Springs. Dan Murphy has that story next.
Ready for a tasty bargain? Check this out. Introducing the new 99-cent KFC Snacker. 100% hand-floured chicken breast, pepper mayo, and crisp lettuce freshly prepared on a sesame seed bun. Now your dollar goes further at KFC.
This weekend, you can afford the very best at Performance Piano's Repossessed Scratch and Dent Piano Sale. Up to 70% off. No money down. Payments as low as $35 a month. Many repossessed, scratch and dents, manufacturer's closeouts, and more. New grands from $39.95. New consoles from $19.95.
Performance Pianos for the performance of your life.
Hurry, sale ends this Sunday.
Performance Pianos.
As the sweltering days of summer come to pass, the time comes for an event so momentous it can't be missed. The Toyota Time Clearance Event. To get a great deal, you have to start with a great car. See America's favorite son, the #1 selling Camry, take the field, along with our most valuable player, Corolla, and the Consumer's Digest Best Buy, Avalon. The clock's running, so catch the Toyota Time Clearance Event now. With deals like these, everyone wins. That's moving you forward.
Want to get away? Relax. Have some fun? We're America's Railroad. We're Amtrak, and now traveling on Amtrak has never been more rewarding. Because now through September 30th, when you purchase 2 full-fare tickets on trains from Albany, Rensselaer, and Point South to New York City and as far south as Washington, D.C., the rest of your party, up to 4 additional passengers, will travel for 90% off the regular fare. So bring the family or friends. Offer is valid too September 30th for travel up until December 15th. Safe, comfortable, affordable, and easy. Amtrak will take you there.
Dinner time is back. Bring them to the table with the unique homestyle taste of original recipe. Hand-floured in a secret blend of 11 herbs and spices and fried to golden perfection. Right now, get 10 pieces for $8.99. Add the fixings to make it a meal. Bring back dinner at KFC.
The Capital Region has produced some great athletes and sports stars. Most of them are household names. But Dan Murphy's here to tell us about one guy you probably don't know anything about.
Yeah, Tracy, his name is Lee Wallard, and he lived in Altamont. In fact, he was a tractor driver in Altamont, and that's how he developed his skill with a steering wheel, a skill that eventually led to Wallard becoming a champion. This is the car he drove to victory in the 1951 Indianapolis 500. It's on loan to the Saratoga Automobile Museum from the Indy 500 Museum. The exhibit, which also includes loads of memorabilia, including Wallard's Indy-winning trophy, will be on display through March.
We thought this would be a perfect jewel for the crown of the Saratoga Automobile Museum. I was able to talk to them about it, and we knew everyone in the Wallard family, and were able to get it.
Not an easy task, since the folks at the Indy Museum don't normally loan cars out to other museums. The Saratoga Automobile Museum, which is open daily from 10 to 5, is located in the Saratoga Spa State Park. Racing news of the four-legged kind. Hall of Fame jockey Pat Day retiring. The 51-year-old has over 8,800 career victories, has won nearly $300 million in purses, more than any other jockey in history. Day returned to racing in mid-May following hip surgery. Was expected to ride at Saratoga this summer. Sloppy day at the track today. Golden Roses won the featured New York Stallion Stakes. No rain at Giants Camp, but it was sweltering. Oh, for those evening practices, says Tiki. You can't find the handle, but then tries out his kicking skills. One injury of note, rookie defensive end Eric Moore out today with a twisted knee and ankle.
A young player who was making good progress, too. That's the other thing. You know, he had shown some, in individual drills and in the teamwork that we had, he'd shown some good skills, some good pass rush skills. So, you know, that would be a setback.
Giants can ill afford to lose any depth at that position. Giants will practice twice tomorrow, including the second evening session of camp. Dan Murphy, News 10.
It will now be a couple more weeks before people in Rotterdam find out if a proposed Walmart can go forward. The Town Planning Commission was supposed to vote on 2 competing plans last night, but has now put off the vote until August 16th. One plan would allow for a Walmart supercenter. The other would create a new category of zoning designed to capitalize on Tech Valley business in Albany. Well, Albany's new middle school finally has a name. The Stephen and Harriet Myers Middle School on Kelton Court will open its doors in September. The Myers were leaders of the local Underground Railroad in the early 19th century, working to end slavery and advocate rights for African Americans.
The CBA sex scandal investigation continues, and concerns about the 787 ramp that may have been ignored.
We'll recap next.
Taking one more look at our 7-day forecast, the scorcher coming up for tomorrow, and then a couple of storms move in Friday. That will introduce a much nicer air mass for the weekend. The humidity may try to make a comeback into early next week.
Hip, trendy. It's the cut and color that makes the fashion. Jean Paul Spa and Hair Salons in Stuyvesant Plaza is proud to present a state-of-the-art coloring studio and a completely redesigned salon and spa. The best stylists in the area are here, and the best-looking cuts are too. Jean Paul features top products like Kiehl's exclusively, Aveda and Bumble & Bumble. Jean Paul Spa and Hair Salons in Stuyvesant Plaza.
Save now during Raymore and Flanigan Furniture's extraordinary savings event.
Hot. Nice job.
Sure, I'm an actress doing a TV commercial, but my family needs furniture too. I'm really impressed with Raymore and Flanigan. And right now you'll find extraordinary savings store-wide, including brand name, and get delivery in 3 days or less. And now through Wednesday, Raymore and Flanigan has interest-free financing till 2008. Today, I came as an actress. Tomorrow, I'll come as a customer.
East-West Catering.
Hello, a person who is deaf or hard of hearing is calling you through New York Relay. This is operator 1400.
It's a call through New York Relay. She wants to know if we've received a relay call before.
Yes, thank you. Go ahead. We need to have a party catered for 200 guests. It's a
When you hear New York Relay, a deaf, hard of hearing, or speech-disabled person is calling you. It's not a telemarketing call, so please don't hang up. It could be the most important call of the day.
And you almost didn't take her call.
It's time for Coca's tremendous clearance sale. Now through 4 p.m. Sunday. Every appliance, every television, everything you need for your home. All priced to move. Save up to 40% on floor models, scratch and dent, and overstock items. Everything must go. Choose from brand names like Amana, Maytag, Frigidaire, Whirlpool, KitchenAid, Sony, Toshiba, JVC, and more. Plus take up to 24 months, no interest financing. Save big, save now. It's our huge clearance event. Now through Sunday, only at Coca's.
Come to the Sterling Renaissance Festival in Sterling, New York, and surrender your senses. It's a whole new festival every weekend. Now through August 14th, Saturdays and Sundays only.
Your local and national world news update. It's News 10's Rush Hour Recap for viewers just getting home.
Investigators continue to interview witnesses in the sex scandal surrounding the former CBA teacher, Beth Geisel. The Albany County DA office called in students from the school today to be re-interviewed. Sources close to the Department of Transportation say that some staffers were concerned nearly 2 years ago with the safety inspection of the elevated ramp from 787 to the Empire State Plaza, the piece that collapsed last week. The rocker bearings that support that span had tilted severely even back then, resulting in the second lowest safety rating possible. Because of today's high heat, the State Health Department has issued an ozone advisory for much of the state, including the capital region. People are also being encouraged to turn off all lights and electrical appliances when possible because of the energy drain. Good news for anyone looking to get into leasing a car. Leasing in New York could get off much cheaper if President Bush signs a transportation bill that was passed by Congress. Huge fees to lease, then to turn in that vehicle would be eliminated. Dive teams have pulled the body of a 17-year-old boy out of Sleepy Hollow Lake in Cooksaki. Police say he was working with a contracting crew around 4 o'clock. They all got hot and jumped into the lake. The boy apparently cramped up and went underwater. Terry?
Well, coming up on News 10 at 11, the Troy School District could find itself in a bit of a crisis. New regulations mean their schools could lose more than 40 teachers' aides. We'll have that story. Plus, more of a mess for Martha Stewart Word tonight that the domestic diva will stay under home confinement for an additional 3 weeks. What did she do to deserve that? We'll find out and let you know. In the meantime, Jeff Smith is going to let you know what we've got going on.
Well, if you're watching from the Lake George area, particularly Bolton Landing, you might be hearing a few rumbles of thunder right now. That should be weakening during the next half hour. Earlier today in Saratoga County, the towns of Edinburgh and also Rock City Falls reporting some power lines and trees down around 3 o'clock. Pretty severe storm moved on through there. We have a hot day coming up tomorrow. High temperature getting up to about 94 here in Albany. Maybe some storms coming in Friday, and then the weekend looking good. But we pay the price.
We pay the price while we're indoors working. Go outside. We'll be all right.
Yep.
Jeff, thanks a lot. Thanks for watching. We'll be back tonight for News 10 at 11.
Good night.
On World News tonight, the deadliest roadside bombing of U.S. troops in Iraq. 14 Marines killed today. A single battalion has lost 20 Marines since Monday. The historic spacewalk to fix the shuttle. The pictures were breathtaking, but there is another problem. Could it prevent a safe landing? The Great Escape, the jumbo jet that burst into flames. How did all 300 people get out alive? And how can you survive a plane crash? We'll take a closer look. A cloning milestone. Snuffy, the world's first cloned dog. What does it mean for man's best friend? And the gift of life. The cancer-stricken woman kept on life support so she could give birth. Her baby is doing fine.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings. Reporting tonight, Elizabeth Vargas.
Good evening. It has been a devastating day for American forces in Iraq. 14 Marines were killed when a powerful bomb blew apart their troop carrier. It is the single deadliest roadside bombing of U.S. troops since the war began. The Marines were part of the same Ohio battalion that lost 6 men in an ambush on Monday. Both attacks occurred near Haditha, part of a nearly lawless expanse of western Iraq, infested with insurgents. A Pentagon general described the insurgents as a very lethal and unfortunately adaptive enemy. Today's attack made that very clear. We begin with ABC's Miguel Marquez in Baghdad.
The Marines were riding in an armored amphibious assault vehicle, much like this one, when they were attacked on a road just south of Haditha. A senior military official said he did not know whether it was a mine or a bomb triggered from a distance that hit them. Whatever it was lethal.
We have seen over the past few months a general decline in the number of improvised explosive device attacks. So in volume, they've decreased. But the lethality has remained very, very high.
A senior military official says it was a massive explosion that flipped the 27-ton transport vehicle upside down. It is not yet known whether the Marines inside died from the explosion or the ensuing fire. The Marines were on a combat mission in one of Iraq's roughest neighborhoods, the corridor in Al-Anbar province that runs along the Euphrates River from Baghdad to the Syrian border.
That line has been used in transit of personnel, perhaps weapons, money, and perhaps ideology along that line as it feeds into Baghdad.
For 2 years, U.S. forces have been trying to rid Al-Anbar province of the Sunni and foreign fighters at the heart of the insurgency.
What you try to do is make the population more sympathetic to what we're trying to do and less sympathetic to what they're doing.
As the former commander of the 1st Marine Division, General Newbold, knows how today's attacks are likely to impact the forces still in combat.
This is a blow, a body blow, and you take it. But the second reaction is a real visceral sense of resolve.
Marines tonight taking account of their losses, but more resolved than ever. Miguel Marquez, ABC News, Baghdad.
As we said, the 2 attacks today and Monday hit the same Ohio-based unit of Marine reservists. Unlike in Vietnam, reserve troops serving in Iraq train together and then serve together. The hope is they will work even better together in combat. But it also increases the chances that a single community can lose many lives in just 3 days. That is the case tonight in Ohio. And here is ABC's Dean Reynolds.
Few towns in America have had the war in Iraq brought home to them as suddenly and sadly as Brook Park, Ohio.
This is what we can do to honor them and thank them. I just love them all. My heart goes out to their families.
20 of the Marines killed so far this week came from the 3rd Battalion, 25th Marines, headquartered here in this suburb near Lake Erie, a long way from the Euphrates River. 9 of today's victims came from this battalion's Lima Company, based in Columbus. Famous for its role in the World War II conquest of Iwo Jima, Lucky Lima, as it's been known, had already lost 8 Marines in attacks this past May. Reporter Michael Martinez was embedded with them then and knows what they're thinking now.
I would say that they're pretty scared. These hits are coming in big clusters.
The knock on the door came to Rosemary Palmer's home this morning. Her son, Augie Schroeder, was gone.
The pictures that we took before he went, we were sure that that was the last time we'd ever see him.
Adding to the heartache of Lance Corporal Jeff Boskovich's family, his body and personal effects have been displayed like trophies by Iraqi insurgents, an act the Marines have called deplorable.
He was like the all-American kid.
Staff Sergeant Paul Clements has had the grim task of breaking the news to the families.
It's the hardest thing I've ever had to do in the Marine Corps.
These casualties come just as the Pentagon has begun talking about gradually reducing the number of American troops in Iraq starting next year. At the Ohio State Fair in Columbus today, there was a feeling such a move was overdue.
They need to come back home.
Back in Brook Park, they are planning funerals. Dean Reynolds, ABC News, Brook Park, Ohio.
Also in Iraq, an American freelance journalist pulled off the streets of Basra at gunpoint last night has been found shot to death. Stephen Vincent wrote a column last weekend for the New York Times in which he accused the police in Basra of having been heavily infiltrated by Shiite militiamen, including those loyal to the radical cleric Muqtada al-Sadr. And now to space. After all the worry, all the planning, and all the rehearsals, it took just a few minutes today for an astronaut to pull 2 loose strips of filler from the shuttle Discovery. But while today's historic repair spacewalk seemed perfect, the mission is not yet out of the woods. Here's ABC's John Berman from the Johnson Space Center in Houston.
3, 2, 1.
220 miles above Earth, attached to the space station's robotic arm, astronaut Steve Robinson guided himself underneath the shuttle, inching in to remove the thorn from the lion's paw.
You see, it looks like this big patient is cured.
NASA had armed the 49-year-old Californian with a saw, forceps, and scissors, which might have damaged the shuttle. But as he faced the first dangling gap filler, all he needed was his fingers.
Okay, I'm grasping it, and I'm pulling. It's coming out very easily.
The second came out 10 minutes later. It took barely more than a pound of force. Easy as it might have looked, astronaut Mike Fink, a veteran of 4 spacewalks, says space makes everything much more difficult.
Each movement requires a lot of bulk muscle just to move his hands, move his arms. And yet he had to reach down very carefully, very gently, just like plucking a flower.
You guys did a great job. Congratulations.
After the repairs, which took just an hour and 6 minutes, Mission Control breathed just a little easier.
I think you could probably hear the sigh of relief.
But that relief might not last long. NASA has identified yet another potential problem: a partially torn thermal blanket near Discovery's left front window. The fear is on re-entry it could break off completely and hit the shuttle. NASA engineers studying the problem were considering the possibility of a 4th spacewalk, an astronaut on the end of the robotic arm, this time with scissors.
Those options would include things that would say cut the blanket and pull it off, or shred it so that it comes off in small pieces.
NASA has now shown it can make in-flight repairs to the 21-year-old shuttle, but critics wonder why so many of these repairs are needed.
They're out there with a Swiss Army knife and a roll of duct tape. It does lend the impression that the shuttle is more vulnerable and more fragile now than it's ever been in its history.
Engineers are worried that the blanket could come off the window here and hit either here on top of the thrusters or on the vertical tail fin. Either of those hits could potentially hurt control on re-entry. Tonight they will be running tests in California in a wind tunnel to see what kind of damage this could do. Elizabeth?
John, when might they make a decision on whether to schedule this 4th spacewalk to repair this problem?
After they run these tests overnight, Elizabeth, they are going to consider this tomorrow in their meeting, and they say by tomorrow night they should have an answer. A spacewalk, if it happens to fix it, would probably come Friday.
All right, John Berman from the Space Center in Houston, thanks so much. When we come back, the jumbo jet that crashed in flames, how all 300 people escaped alive. We'll take a closer look. Another cloning breakthrough, this time it is a dog, and there is controversy. And a day of joy and grief. A cancer-stricken mother is taken off life support after giving birth to a healthy baby girl.
This is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings. Brought to you by Walmart.
Our science teacher, and last year she let us dissect a frog. Cool. I get a rabbit in my homeroom. Kids. That's so cool. I get a marker, more recess, so I'm 5.
Ready for school? Good thing Walmart's got all the coolest clothes for back to school at their always low prices. So you can get your kids off to the right start.
Hey! Oh, come on!
Arthritis sufferers have had enough bad news lately. Here's some good news. Aleve is the #1 pharmacist recommended pain reliever for arthritis for the 6th year in a row. Ask your doctor about the good news. Ask your doctor about Aleve.
Heartburn's back.
Deal me back in. You mean out. Tums EX can't keep acid from coming back. Choose the juice that worked fast and last.
New Malox Antacid Barrier.
Fast relief plus a long-lasting protective barrier. New Malox Antacid Barrier.
Introducing the new Brita AquaView, the only filter with a window that lets you see what it takes out of your tap water. One AquaView filter lasts up to 4 months, eliminating 95% of lead, sediment, and chlorine taste from your tap water, day after day after day. It takes out what you don't want to take in. See the difference? The new Brita AquaView, just $39.99 for cleaner water every day. Brita, just add water.
At 6'4", 220 pounds, Bob's a formidable man. But he was no match for something less than 1/1,000,000th his size. It KO'd Bob so fast, he didn't know what hit him. It was a clot. Like Bob, if you've been hospitalized with heart-related chest pain or a certain type of heart attack, what doctors call ACS, chances are you had a clot. But now, Bob's doctor is helping increase Bob's protection against heart attack and stroke by putting Bob on Plavix. Plavix, in combination with aspirin and other heart medicines, helps provide greater protection against heart attack and stroke than aspirin and other heart medicines alone by helping keep blood platelets from sticking together and forming clots.
If you have a stomach ulcer or other condition that causes bleeding, you shouldn't use Plavix. When taking Plavix alone or with some medicines, including aspirin, the risk of bleeding may increase. To minimize this risk, talk to your doctor before taking aspirin or other medicines with Plavix. Additional rare but serious side effects could occur.
Ask your doctor about Plavix today, because no matter how formidable you are, you're no match for a dangerous clot.
We're going to take a closer look now at surviving an airline crash. Many feared the worst when they saw those pictures of a burning passenger plane in Toronto yesterday, yet everyone on board got out alive. The truth is, most accidents are survivable. Government statistics show 19 out of 20 passengers make it out safely. So how did more than 300 people aboard Air France Flight 358 do it? ABC's Nancy Weiner begins our closer look.
The charred remains of Air France Flight 358 languish in a gully within sight of the runway. The plane attempted to land yesterday in heavy rains, high winds, and lightning.
As the safety board already indicated, extreme weather conditions are one factor.
Passengers aboard the Airbus A340 say as the plane made its approach, everything seemed fine. And as it touched down at 4:03 p.m., they began to applaud.
We started bumping around a lot, and then the bumps got even bigger.
The jet skidded 600 feet off the runway, slid down a ditch, and caught fire. Olivier Dubose was in seat 44A.
We could not open the two emergency exits. One was really in flames, and the other one was better on the right side. So the crew opened this one, and then the chute inflated. We jumped and we were running on this little hill.
Further up the cabin in seat 16B, Eddie Ho faced a major problem. The emergency slides for the two exits nearest him had failed to inflate, meaning he would have to jump to the ground.
It's a 4-meter jump. You're looking down
You know, it's a feeling when you stand on top of a high building type of thing. It's almost like the same feeling.
He made his way to the front of the plane to an exit with a partially inflated slide.
It was slightly better, but I still fell. And I fell on top of a few people. And the flight attendants were just pushing people off as soon as possible. You know, people were thinking, no, the plane is going to explode soon. People were falling on top of me.
All 309 people aboard managed to deplane without serious injury in roughly the same amount of time it's taken to tell their story, about 90 seconds. Less than 2 minutes after the last person, the pilot, was off, flames devoured the Air France jet. Nancy Weiner, ABC News, Toronto.
Well, headlines called it the Toronto miracle, but as we said earlier, most people do survive airline crashes on takeoff and landing. ABC's David Muir continues our closer look.
In June 1999, American Airlines Flight 1420 crashed while trying to land in a thunderstorm in Little Rock, Arkansas. 134 of the 145 people on board survived, and Randy Hill was one of them.
I was drenched in jet fuel and realized that you just had a few seconds to do something. We were able to get out through a small opening in the side of the plane.
People see something like that, they think, I'm going to die. But in fact, if you know what to do, you've got a very high probability in a takeoff or landing accident of surviving.
From 1983 to 2000, nearly 96% of passengers involved in U.S. plane crashes got out alive. And in the 26 most extreme crashes, more than half of the passengers and crew survived.
Stay low! Breathe through your clothes!
The FAA requires flight crews to be able to evacuate a jet in just 90 seconds. JetBlue is now using this simulator to train its cabin crews. It was not a drill for pilot Al Haynes and his crew in 1989. The hydraulic system failed on United Flight 232. They had to crash land in Sioux City. 184 survived out of the 296 on board. The pilot says the passengers listened to the crew.
Our passengers, I stand in awe of their behavior, that they could do what they did and remain calm and under control like they did.
And if there's one thing you can do as a passenger, aviation experts say know where the nearest emergency exit is, right down to the number of rows it takes to get there.
Make sure that if everything else goes to heck in a handbasket, you could crawl there with your eyes closed.
The first minute and a half is considered golden time by many in the industry, and likely by the 309 people who survived yesterday's crash in Toronto. David Muir, ABC News, New York.
Our closer look for tonight, and there is more information on how to survive an airline crash at abcnews.com. When we return, a scientific breakthrough, the first cloned dog, how dog cloning could help fight diseases in humans.
Medicare. It covers hospital stays and doctor visits. But for many people, something's been missing. Until now. Prescription drugs. Starting November 15th, sign up for Medicare's new prescription drug coverage. Everyone on Medicare is eligible. You could save hundreds of dollars a year, but you have to sign up. Call or log on for a free booklet on getting started. Find out how Medicare's new drug coverage can work for you.
Smell that?
Nice. Smells exactly the same as the last time we came in here.
Exactly.
It's Glade West, the first automatic home air freshener you can actually see working.
See that puff?
Exactly the same as the last puff.
Exactly.
Unlike sprays, Wisp puffs automatically. And while other air fresheners start out strong and fade, the last puff smells as great as the first.
That last puff smelled as great as the first.
Always working to keep your home smelling fresh. Glade West, the proof is in the puff.
Exactly.
S.C. Johnson, family company.
My mom has arthritis. Taking Bear keeps her music playing. My brother has a bad knee. Taking Bear keeps his game going. And what really amazed me was when Bear helped my father keep living. He took it during a heart attack. Bear helped save his life. Nothing else I know does so much. So when I'm in pain, what do you think I'm going to choose?
Genuine Bear, like no other pain reliever in the world.
Hello! I'm asking people to take the Kellogg's 2-week fiber challenge. Just one bowl of frosted mini wheats a day. Can I count on your support?
2 weeks? A lot could happen in 2 weeks.
Well, yes. You could start feeling less, and start feeling more,
More,
Precisely. And how great would that be?
He'll try it.
Excellent. Take the Kellogg's fiber challenge. 1 bowl, 2 weeks. And see if you feel a difference.
2 weeks?
Lunesta. It's finally here. And people all across the nation are discovering it. When will you ask your doctor about Lunesta?
When you've got heartburn, don't wait a second longer than you have to for relief. Get Pepcid Complete, because nothing's faster. Not Prilosec OTC, not Zantac 150. Pepcid Complete, guaranteed fast or your money back.
They are the fastest growing and most violent gang in the U.S. Tomorrow, World News Tonight gives you an exclusive look into what makes them so dangerous. Find out why police fear they are out of control in our cities. First, on World News Tonight with Peter Jennings. Then more on Nightline.
Baltimore Orioles slugger Rafael Palmeiro said today he will cooperate fully with Congress as it looks into his failed steroid test. Major League Baseball suspended the All-Star for 10 days earlier this week. Palmeiro said he will give Congress all the information it had requested. There's been a major development in the sneaker wars today. The German firm Adidas Salomon said it's reached an agreement to buy rival Reebok for $3.8 billion. Adidas hopes the acquisition will put it in a better position to compete against industry giant Nike. It has been almost a decade since scientists cloned Dolly the sheep. Since then, we've of course had cats, mice, and many other animals cloned. Today, an announcement in Nature magazine of another cloning milestone. Scientists in South Korea said they have created the world's first cloned dog. And there is controversy. Here's ABC's Ned Potter.
This is the world's first look at Snuppy, short for Seoul National University Puppy. He was cloned from a skin cell from this 3-year-old Afghan hound.
This was much harder than cloning other animals.
In fact, the researchers say that because canine reproduction is very complicated, they had to try more than 1,000 times to get one healthy dog. Today, the world's abuzz about cloning man's best friend. Not that most people would want to do it.
The concept is a little bizarre.
Take John Burns. He's the owner of Charlie, and someday he says he would love to have another dog just like him.
But would it be Charlie? He would look like him. He would have all the same physical attributes, but would he be Charlie?
The researchers say they only created Snuppy for medical research. When you perform cloning, you generate stem cells, those much-debated cells that doctors believe may someday help cure many diseases. By cloning a dog, they say they'll learn more about cloning human tissue, perhaps to repair damaged organs.
Reproductive cloning should not be used for any member of our family, our pets included.
Americans seem to agree. When asked if it's morally acceptable to clone animals, 61% said no, it's wrong.
Hi, sweetheart.
There is in California a firm called Genetic Savings and Clone, which cloned the first cat in 2002 and offers to clone yours for $32,000. Last year they did it 5 times.
I have a hard time understanding why anybody would want to do that other than sheer vanity.
The researchers say they have one reason.
Snappy.
They say it may someday save human lives. Ned Potter, ABC News, New York.
And when we return, the gift of life. A woman kept alive on life support gives birth to a healthy baby girl.
Do you want some dessert? Not with my metabolism. Yeah, in your 30s, your metabolism slows. What can you do? You know what I do? I eat right, exercise, and I switch to One-A-Day Weight Smart. It's a complete multivitamin with EGCG to help enhance metabolism. Every little bit helps. One-A-Day Weight Smart.
Me and BB King have a lot in common. We both have diabetes. He doesn't like to wait for results. I don't like to wait.
All done within 5 seconds. Now, you just can't beat that.
Ask for One Touch Ultra. One Touch changes everything.
Night. It's when most of the world sleeps. A time to reset our clock so we can begin a new day. It's all part of the rhythm of life. But for many, this healthy cycle is disrupted because sleep doesn't always come easy. Fortunately, there's Ambien. Ambien is a prescription sleep aid that can help you get a full night's sleep. While natural sleep is best, Ambien helps you fall asleep fast, stay asleep longer, and wake rested and refreshed, not groggy the next morning. No wonder Ambien is the #1 prescribed sleep aid in America.
Until you know how Ambien will affect you, you shouldn't drive or operate machinery. Side effects may include drowsiness, dizziness, and diarrhea. You shouldn't take it with alcohol. All people taking sleep medicines have some risk of becoming dependent on the medicine. Prescription sleep aids are most often taken for 7 to 10 days as needed. Your doctor will advise you about taking them longer. In most instances, memory problems can be avoided if you take Ambien only when you're able to get 7 to 8 hours sleep before you need to be active again. Talk to your doctor about Ambien and wake rested and ready to start your day. Ambien works like a dream.
Heartburn's back.
Deal me back in.
You mean out. Tums EX can't keep acid from coming back. Choose the chews that work fast and last.
New Malox Antacid Barrier.
Fast relief plus a long-lasting protective barrier. New Malox Antacid Barrier.
I was always going. Having to go in the middle of traffic and just starting and stopping. Having to go in the middle of a ball game and then not being able to go once I got there. And going at night. Going and going. I thought I had a going problem. My doctor said I had a growing problem. It wasn't my bladder. My prostate was growing. I had an enlarging prostate. My doctor prescribed Avodart.
Most medicines only treat symptoms. Avodart, with time, actually shrinks the prostate and improves urinary symptoms.
So I can go more easily when I need to go, and go less often.
Only your doctor can tell if your symptoms are from an enlarged prostate and not a more serious condition such as prostate cancer, so have regular prostate exams. Avodart is for men only. Women should not take or handle Avodart due to the risk of a specific birth defect. Tell your doctor if you have liver disease. Rarely, sexual side effects, tenderness, or swelling of the breast can occur. Call your doctor today. Avodart for your growing problem.
Summer's here. It's the perfect time to come into Red Lobster and create your own summer seafood feast. Combine 2 or 3 of your seafood favorites from 10 of our premium dishes. Create your own summer seafood feast right now at Red Lobster.
They're back. Lock and load. And suddenly everyone loves lawyers. Boston Legal returns on a new night. Tuesday, 10/9 Central, only on ABC.
Tomorrow, imagine living life with people laughing at you every day because you're fat. On TV and magazines, on your job. And they think it's okay, even cool to do it. Tomorrow, what it's really like to be fat. An emotional journey you'll never forget. Only on Good Morning America.
Finally tonight, the gift of life. Doctors in Arlington, Virginia delivered a healthy baby girl to Susan and Jason Torres last night. Today, they switched off the life support that has kept Susan alive so that she could give birth. ABC's Dan Harris has more now on the end of one life and the beginning of another.
In their last act as a married couple, Jason and Susan Torres snatched life from the jaws of death. Today, Jason's brother described the family's reaction to the birth of the baby named after her mother.
It was a wonderful day. It was a wonderful day to see baby Susan.
In May, Susan Torres, then 15 weeks pregnant with her second child, lost consciousness after cancer spread to her brain. Her husband decided to keep her on life support long enough to have the baby.
Without question, I know that Susan would walk through hell and back just to give her child a chance.
This morning, 24 hours after the birth, Jason Torres told doctors to take his wife off life support.
We're, thrilled by the baby, but this is a very difficult day.
The baby was born nearly 3 months premature. She weighs under 2 pounds, but is breathing on her own and has no signs of her mother's cancer.
She was very vigorous and crying and in very good condition.
There are still risks. Babies this premature have a 10% chance of dying and increased odds of both lung and visual problems later in life. Today, Justin Torres talked about what he'll say to his niece one day about all of this.
You do not know, you cannot tell how many people have fought for you. And all of these people here and family and friends, and so go out and do good things.
And baby Susan will do those things quite literally in her mother's name. Dan Harris, ABC News, New York.
Indeed, she will. And that is our report on World News Tonight. I'm Elizabeth Vargas. For Peter Jennings and all of us at ABC News, good night.
Something's going on in Home homestead, Floyd.
I've been through hurricanes before.
No, not like this one you haven't.
Something's happening to this family.
Did you see the light?
And it's not what you think. Invasion, Wednesdays this fall, only on ABC.
Wheel of Fortune coming up next on WTEN.
At Price Chopper, all our customers have one thing in common. They're looking to save money.
We're on a pretty tight budget. So I asked her, can we only buy what we need right now?
Sure. There's always tons of low-price items, and they're also low for a long, long time. That's why we save money every time I shop.
Oh, really?
I know how to handle a tight budget.
I knew that.
Thousands of new lower prices good till fall. It's a great way to save. And it's only at Price Chopper.